I say fried chicken, you say, yeah, I'll have a 2-piece and a biscuit. We all love that kind of chicken, but this Korean fried chicken has a big old kick. Little too early for kicks, and guarantee you'll be coming back for more. So this story starts with a nice, sexy buttermilk bath. And I like using a little bit of lemon peel, because lemon and chicken, they're pretty good friends. It's like a friend you haven't seen in a little while, and you're like, oh, we should get a glass of wine. And like 2 hours later, things are weird, and you're like, you were always this smart one. Actually, wine and chicken and lemon, they go pretty good together. Anyway, moving on. This is a really good tip. Use a peeler, and if you peel the lemon like that, you get none of the white part. You just get that good, fragrant pop of lemon. Okay, and I'm using chicken thighs and chicken legs because when you're talking about fried chicken, the chicken thigh and the chicken leg are the Woody and Buzz of fried chicken. They belong together and they're perfect. So a little bit of garlic, a little bit of lemon peel. I like the garlic and lemon because chicken loves it. And if I was the chicken, I'd want to be covered in lemon and garlic. And the base of the marinade is some buttermilk. You don't have to marinate the chicken, but I like it. The buttermilk is really nice and tangy and really tender. And some ginger too, because this is all about Korean style. Ginger is great. You can peel it if you want. Some people use a spoon, some people freeze it, but I think the peeler is really cool because it really gets rid of the rind really quickly. And it smells great. You don't have to worry about the knife cut, just chop it up and get it in the marinade. Making some chicken. All right, lemon peel, check. Buttermilk, check. Ginger, check. Time to spice it out. Fried chicken's great. A little bit of smoked paprika. It's like a sweet heat, and it's a little bit smoky, so it's delicious. And then a little bit of onion powder. Onion powder has some really good energy. Onion, garlic, lemon, buttermilk, chicken. That all makes sense. And then just a few cracks of black pepper. And that's it. You can use milk if you want, but this marinade, honestly, come here, from me to you, it's perfect for Korean fried chicken. And then you just dump it on the chicken pieces. Easy peasy. So you wanna let this marinate. You wanna let the buttermilk and the garlic and all the seasonings like drink into the chicken. So 4 to 6 hours if you like, roll it around. And honestly, you start with that, and then you coat it in some flour, and you fry it, and add the sauce, chicken, have it. All right, so this can go into the fridge 4 to 6 hours. Chicken is gonna marinate in the fridge for 6 hours. What am I gonna do for 6 hours? It's like a flight to China. Oh, that Pirates movie marathon's on. That's pretty great. I've seen that before. I can mow the lawn. It's ridiculously hot out. I'll just have a nap.
We'll be right back after this message.
Hi y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. I want to tell you about something that's revolutionized my life. And whenever time I need to eat something, I always have a problem getting the food into my mouth. That's why I want to introduce to you the Spencer Watts patent fork. You can stab it, put it right in your mouth, and it makes eating real easy. Now you know we can't do this all day, but if you call now, we're gonna give you a second fork. You and a friend can eat together. You don't have to share them anymore, and it makes it so easy to get the food into your mouth. The food goes into your mouth, goes into your body's happy, and so is your friend, because we're gonna give you 2 forks. Call now. Do it. The number's on the bottom, 743. 3 numbers. Hit it, 2 forks.
Okay, so chicken's been marinated. Next up is a really kicked up Korean sauce. And you can't have this Korean fried chicken sauce without one thing, and it's called gochujang. Gochu what? Watch your mouth when you're in front of my mother. It's a real word and it's a real thing. It's fermented Korean chili paste, and it's made from glutinous rice. And boy, is it packed with flavor, because it's salty, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's savory, it's got body, but be careful, because it's really spicy. And when I'm at home and I'm making something, I really like to mirror the flavors, because there is a little bit of sweetness. I'm a sucker for sweetness, and especially on the chicken, so play with that stickiness, like really lean into the sugar, get it really nice and sweet. And it has a bit of tartness to that, and then to even make it more tart, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And it's a great balance, right? So you got the vinegar, you got the spice, you got the sweetness, and then a touch of soya gives you a nice big salty kick, and that's a really good balance. And if you've never had gochujang before, find it. It's in Korean grocery stores. Some of the regular grocery stores are starting to sell it. It's delicious. It's really good. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's salty, it's got a punch of vinegar, perfect for fried chicken. Okay, so when you talk about fried chicken, you want to get it really nice and crispy. So this is my favorite dry dredge to get super crispy chicken. So a little bit of flour and cornstarch. Cornstarch is a little secret when you're frying chicken because it gives you super crunch. Like cornstarch should have a cape on. Super crunch. So don't be shy with the cornstarch. And then to season it up a little bit, some more smoked paprika again because that paprika is in the marinade. So I'm gonna put it in the dredge so you get a lot of that big smokiness. Garlic powder. And then you want to season it. Here's a really good tip. The chicken's going to be really flavorful and the sauce is going to be really flavorful. So you want the dry dredge to be really flavorful. And then you put all those three together and you're laughing. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and that's it. It's pretty simple, right? But it's going to make the chicken ridiculously good. All right, so to dredge the chicken, this is a great tip. You want to keep the chicken nice and wet in the buttermilk because that's going to help like cling on to the dry spices and the flour and the cornstarch. So get it in, and I use one hand wet and one hand dry. And you want a lot of that coating on it. Like that is delicious. And you dunk that in the fryer, and then you hit it with the gochujang sauce. Laughing. All right, so if you're my mom, what she likes to do is just put a little bit of oil on it and bake it at like 375, and you can get some pretty crispy chicken. But I like to deep fry it. So just for 1 second, we're gonna have a little conversation about deep frying, okay? Rule number one, you want a nice big thick pot with a heavy bottom on it so it retains the heat. Rule number two, don't fill the oil up so high because that's when the oil will jump out of the pan. And rule number three, if it does boil over, don't freak out. Hold it all together, put a lid on it, stop the fire, don't start throwing water on it, put a lid on it, calm down. And that doesn't happen very often. You know, that's like a worst case scenario. So this oil is at about 350 degrees, and this is how I like to fry it. Take the piece of chicken, put it in. I like to just move it back and forth before I drop it in, and that batter gets some nice air in it, and it'll lift the chicken up and it'll sit on top of the oil and fry. It's pretty good. This is good. And you don't want to, this is another great tip. You don't want to overcrowd the oil. You'll drop the temperature too fast. So just go nice and light with your chicken. You want to see some nice bubbles. The perfect oil for me is a canola oil, something really nice and clean. And this chicken, you can cook 100% in the oil and keep it really nice and crispy. You don't have to remove it and put it in the oven. And this is about 6 to 10 minutes. And honestly, when you see the crust on this, you're going to thank me, promise. All right, good luck, guys. Hey, check this chicken out. All right, so it's been cooking for about 10, 11 minutes. Woohoo! Yeah! It's so good. The cornstarch gives it super crunch. The flour makes it really nice and flaky, and all the seasonings there is perfect. Leave the skin on. I mean, that is delicious fried chicken. This is what I like to do. Just take the chicken out and let it drip a little bit. Let some of that oil go back into the pan, and then put it on a rack with some paper towel underneath of it and let that fat drip off. That's delicious. You can eat it like that. You'll be pretty happy. But I'm not done because it's all about Korean fried chicken, and this part is my favorite. All right, check it out. Some people like to toss it in the sauce, but I'm more of a brusher. And I find because the chicken is so nice and crispy, if you just brush a little bit of the sauce on and leave some of the bits crispy, it's a great balance. So just get a paintbrush. All right, check this out. Come here, come here, come here. This is perfect. It's not all sauce because I like when there's a little bit of crunchy bits left. So like a little bit of crunch, a little bit of sauce. Just brushing the sauce on. I'm making some chicken. So what when I eat Korean fried chicken, there's a couple things I like to garnish with. It's pretty crispy and it's really powerful in flavor because of the gochujang and the soya and the vinegar and the honey. I find a bit of fresh green onion or scallions is perfect. There's a little bit of freshness, there's a little bit of punch there, and it gives it great color. So a couple scallions, and then for crunch, a little bit of sesame seeds. So they say that you eat with your eyes first, and I really like making things look pretty. So I like doing a big stack of chicken. This is great. If my dad was here right now, he'd be at the end of the counter going, "Is it ready?" And then he'd bite into it too early because he's crazy and burn his mustache. And then I like to take a little bit of the sauce at the end and just a nice little drizzle around the plate. That looks great. And then some of the fresh green onion. And then just to finish it, some nice toasted sesame seeds. Hey, fried chicken's pretty good. But if you make a simple spicy Korean glaze, fry it, get it really nice and crispy, a little bit of green onion, a little bit of sesame, you're laughing. That's delicious. Who doesn't love a good piece of fried chicken? The best part about the fried chicken is the crunch. Yeah. The Korean chili paste, the gochujang, is so good. And the fermented chilies in there just give it such a good body. And then the crispy crunch from the cornstarch. I mean, that's a winner. All right, you guys, everybody gets one.